I'm Kevin Spunde at Sweetwater, and in this video we're going to be doing a bass pedal buying guide. So this is going to give you a good idea of where to get started. If you're new to bass, or if you've been playing bass for a while and you're new to pedals, this will be a really good video for you. So we'll go over some of the basics, some of the first pedals you might take a look at and want to get. The four pedals we're going to go over are preamp pedals, overdrives and distortions, chorus pedals, and then auto wah pedals, envelope filter pedals. So what's the first, if not only, pedal a bass player is going to buy? Preamp pedal. Preamp pedals will have tone sculpting capabilities. A lot of them have switchable distortion, and then they'll have a DI out as well. So when you're playing live and you need to get your signal out to the house, or if you're recording at home, having a DI is really great. First off is SansAmp. SansAmp's a good classic. It's been out for forever. It's one of the most popular pedals out there. Something you can use for silent stage. It's something you can use to record with. It's just a good basis for your tone. So I'm using a Ditto looper here for playback purposes, so I don't have to sit there and play the same thing for you over and over again. But here is the SansAmp. Next is Tone Hammer from Aguilar. Really great. A lot of rock and metal guys love these. Tone sculpting, once again. This one also has switchable distortion on it. So if you want to kill two birds with one stone while having a good DI box, you can turn the distortion on and off. And the next pedal is going to be the Darkglass B7K Ultra. This is my own personal pedal. This has the active EQ on it, so you can tone sculpt. It has a DI, also has switchable distortion like the Aguilar. Preamp pedals are kind of a gateway drug. You have your pedal now, you have your one thing, it does what it does, but you want to do something with switchable distortion, you don't like the grit that's in there, you want a different type of even distortion sound that comes with that pedal, or you just want to build from there, you want to get more stuff going and kind of expand your tonal palette. So next logical step for me is going to be overdrives, distortion, fuzz pedals. So I have here two fuzz pedals, two overdrive slash distortion type pedals. First one's going to be bass big muff. Really, really cool pedal if you want to get a different type of tone than, switchable overdrive on your preamp pedal or distortion pedal or some type of amp sound. Really unique. It's going to be very, very squashed sounding as well. So levels wise, you're not going to have a lot of dynamics, and they're kind of noisy too sometimes. So just some things to be aware of. Here's big muff. I like the Duality fuzz for myself. It's a little bit more modern sounding, and I kind of use it for a synthy type lead tone, but you can get a good variety of sounds out of it. Other thing too is Duality's got a blend knob. The big muff has a dry out and an effects out. With fuzz tones, they can really eat your tone and your volume overall. So it's cool to have something with a blend knob or with a dry and clean output on it. It helps you still retain some of your bass characteristic, or if you have any other pedals running before them or stuff running before them, it'll still come through. Next, Agular Agro. So aggro pedal is aggro. It's aggressive, it's distortion, it's not as natural sounding as an amp, and not as compressed or kind of rounded off as a fuzz pedal would be, but really aggressive distortion, good for that. Any pedals that are kind of listed as distortion is going to be very aggressive sounding. A lot of the Darkglass pedals, they'll be listed as a preamp or distortion, but once again, you know, super hairy, just aggressive modern metal type of tone that you can get out of them. And last one is the Boss bass overdrive pedal. So a little bit more organic sounding. Overdrive, distortion, fuzz pedals. It's a good second option from your preamp pedal, or if you just want something that's like a lead tone, or if you want to leave something on because you're aggressive playing, sounding music genre. So check them out. There's a lot of ones out there. Side note with them, do make sure you get bass specific with fuzz and overdrive pedals. There are some guitar overdrive and fuzz pedals that work on bass, but generally speaking, you want to go bass specific. They're going to preserve your low end, they'll hold your low end better, and they'll sound better anyways with your bass tone in general. They're scooped and formed to sound good with bass. Next is chorus pedals. It's a super popular effect for bass. It's one of those things where once you hear it, you know what it is, and you know of a bunch of songs that use chorus on. So it's not as important to buy a bass specific chorus pedal. There's a lot out there, and the reason why there are bass-specific chorus pedals, like the first one I chose is the Boss CEB3, which is a bass chorus, is the name of it. It's such a popular effect on bass that they do make bass-specific ones, but the other pedals I have here aren't bass-specific. Next one's the Julia chorus from Walrus. It's not bass specific, but it works really well on bass and sounds great. Next one I chose the Corona chorus. Really cool pedal because you can use your tone print technology with it. If you download their app, you can hold the phone up to your bass and you can load a tone print in. But it has a couple different things on there. You can either do the tone print, you can do a simple chorus sound, you can do the tri-chorus, which is a much more kind of lush and washy type of chorus tone. So really flexible and cool pedal to check out. And then last is the Keeley Dyno Roto. This is going to be based off of an 80s rack mount tri-chorus setup, all in one box. So very lush 80s sounding chorus. Not bass specific, but I think it works great on bass. There's a ton of other chorus pedals out there, so there's so many different ones to consider. One of the big things that I like to pay attention to is if it says it's a tri-chorus, that's going to be a much more lush and washy type of sound. If it's not a tri-chorus like the Julia or the Boss that I showed, it's a little simpler sounding, but still adds that kind of waviness to your tone. So cool effect. So the last type of pedal we're going to go over is a couple different pedals that I kind of lump into one category. Wah pedals, auto wahs, filters, envelope filters. So wah pedal is good for getting that kind of quacky sound. Bass players are never going to get great with a wah pedal. I personally own this Dunlop bass wah. I've had it for a very long time. And I own this mini bass wah. They're great, they're really cool. I'm not good at using a wah pedal, so I don't have a lot of stuff I can practice with a wah pedal. That's why envelope filter pedals are great, or auto wahs. The ones I have here are the Filter Twin, Spatial Delivery, and the MXR bass envelope filter pedal. So these are really good for doing the wah sound, the quackiness, or doing the slap bass thing, a really funky type of tone without having to get good with your foot and ankle dexterity. That's bass wahs. I love the Dunlop bass wah. It sounds great. It's a little bit hard to play sitting down, so excuse me if I didn't demo it here for you. But there's a ton of stuff out there. Check some of them out. Once again, with wah pedals and things, you don't really have to buy bass specific with the envelope filters, but the wah pedal, definitely. Definitely buy a bass specific one. It's going to trigger the frequencies better with what bass has. All right, so you have some pedals now. What's some other stuff to consider when you're owning pedals? Are you going to be the guy that shows up to the venue with all of your pedals in a duffel bag and you just kind of spill them on the floor and plug them in individually? Do you want something on a pedal board? Do you have to worry about pedal power supply? What kind of cables should you buy? Should you buy the custom cables? All those things are stuff to consider, you know. Here in front of me, a couple different size pedal boards. This one is all dirty because it's mine and I've used it for a long time. It's a Gator pedal board. That one comes with hard shell case. Hard shell cases are great. You can throw it wherever you need to and it'll hold up. Next one here is a little nano pedal board. Small, compact, fit probably 4 or so pedals on there depending on the size of them. Comes with a soft case, so you can get soft cases for pedal boards as well. And also too, I have the Temple pedal board. These are super cool because all the connectors you can get on them, it's super easy to rearrange stuff. They come in a lot of different sizes and there's different connectors and cool add-ons for them as well. So when you're looking at pedal boards, you know, consider what size they are, consider how many pedals you have to put on there, consider do you want a power supply mounted on there or not? Do you have space for one? First power supply I'll mention here for you, the 1-spot 9-volt wall wart adapter. They're great. You get them with a little daisy chain cable and it's easy to do if you're only going to have a couple pedals. It works. If you have more pedals going on than that, it can get a bit noisy using a daisy chain cable, so that's why it's good to get a standalone power supply like this Voodoo Labs ISO 5, which I own and it is also really dirty. So it's good isolated power, helps keep your pedal board sounding quieter, sounding better, helps with your tone, and it's a little bit better for the pedals as well. Or if you have a lot more pedals going on, that it's much more milliamp draw than what the 1-spot can handle. That's when that comes in handy. Also too, I have the Mission Engineering 529, a little USB powered pedal board power supply. Simple, small, compact. It would go with, you know, a Nano very easily. Next thing is cables. When you're plugging your pedals in together, you have very tight space. So these MXR cables, I actually really like little patch cables for going between your pedals. Flat connector ends on them and not too expensive. So you get a 3-pack or a couple 3-packs, it works well. The D'Addario, which is what I've been using to connect my pedals today. These work really, really well also. Small, compact, cheap, easy. You know, if you're only putting a couple pedals together, that works. There's also custom cable kits. So if you have different arrangements of stuff and those little cables aren't going to work for you, you can make your own custom lengths. Boss, D'Addario, George L's, Emerson, they all have these custom cable kits that you can put together. But if you only have a couple pedals, it's much easier to do the small cables. A lot of pedal boards also too will come with Velcro. Temple boards don't come with their connectors, so to keep that in mind. But most of them come with Velcro. It is good to buy extra Velcro. Another thing too, tuner. Do you want to use a clip-on tuner like I have on this base for this video? Or do you want your own tuner on the pedal board? Or do you have a pedal board wireless system with a tuner built in? It's another thing to think about when you're putting all of your stuff together. So this has been a good brief overview of kind of where to start, where to go with pedals. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment below or give us a call and talk to your sales engineer.